Okay, so here's another amazing Rosenwinkel lick. And he's doing this one over Nica's Dream. It's in the A section when it does the 2-5-1 to G flat major. And I particularly like what he plays over the 5 chord in this line. But we'll start out with the 2 chord. So he starts pretty much just going right up in A flat Dorian scale. So you start with your pointer finger on B flat on the 4th string. Then pick middle finger on B. And then pinky picks D flat. So it starts on the end of 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and okay. Then after that we get to beat 1. So our pointer finger is on E flat, and then on the 3rd string. Then I pick my ring finger on F, and then I hammer on to G flat with my pinky. So that's the only note that's not picked so far. Okay, and then I put my pointer finger up on A flat on the 2nd string, ring finger on B flat, and then I hammer on again with my pinky to B natural. And then my pointer finger lands on D flat on the 1st string. Okay, so that's everything for the A flat minor chord. So like I said, he's going straight up in A flat Dorian scale, starting on B flat. Okay, and then right here it gets really cool. So now we get to our D flat dominant chord, and he starts with this really cool little arpeggio. So what's going on right there is really interesting. So he's doing a G major arpeggio, which if you're familiar with tritone substitutions, right, if we're doing a D flat 7 chord, the tritone sub would be G7, right? So you could play a G major arpeggio and it has a really cool sound. But the thing that's really interesting is that first note that he's coming from. Because he's starting on a E flat, right? Which if we're thinking of D flat dominant 7, the E flat note is our 9, right? So he starts on just a natural 9, so there's no tension, and then pull off to the D. And now you get the flat 9, and then he continues that by going down a G major arpeggio. So you get the flat 9, flat 7, flat 5. So that's a really neat sound, because I've heard that sound a lot before, but typically when I hear that, it's like that like augmented scale thing that a lot of us know. But this is an interesting spot where you can use it outside of that, where you're actually thinking of the tritone sub over the dominant chord. So the fingering I'm doing there, I have my middle finger on E flat, and I pull off to D with my pointer finger. Yeah, and then my ring finger goes to B, and that's an upstroke, and then I do a downstroke with my ring finger on G on the 3rd string. So now we have... Okay, and now he does another cool little altered. This one is a little bit more common than the first one. So that one, I have my pointer finger on A on the 2nd string, and then my pointer finger goes up to F, the string above that, slide down a fret to E, and then my pinky goes to D on the 4th string. So that's an altered line, right? If you look at that as far as like D flat 7, you have the sharp 5, natural 3, sharp 9, and flat 9. So a nice grouping of some of the really strong altered notes. So we have... So that's a really cool pattern together, because you're mixing those 2 different 4-note patterns. Right, first one being the natural 9 down a half step to the arpeggio off of the tritone sub. And then the second one, just like a straight altered. Right, and if you're still learning how to play over, altered chords, and a lot of times people will say go up a half step and think melodic minor. So in this case, if we think of this little line right here in terms of D melodic minor, right, you could see it's just 1, 2, 3, 5 of D minor, right? As far as like the notes being used. So if you can visualize that little shape, right, you can just move that around. Just find whatever dominant chord you're on, go up a half step, right, do 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, and then, so now we have... And now when we get to our G flat major, he does this little interesting thing. So I'm doing my pointer finger on B, middle finger goes to C, and then I hammer on to D flat with my ring finger. And then my pointer finger goes down to B flat. So he starts out, if we're looking at this in terms of G flat major, he starts out on the 4, chromatic from the 4 to the 5. And then we start on the 3rd and we do a little major 9 arpeggio. Okay, so right there, pointer finger on B flat, ring finger hammers on the D flat, middle finger goes to F, and then pointer finger goes to A flat. So intervallically, 3rd, 5th, major 7, 9, right? So, okay. Okay, so after that, middle finger goes back down to F, then ring finger goes back to G flat. And then he goes right up to scale again, like we do at the beginning. So pointer finger on A flat, ring finger on B flat, hammer on with the pinky to B, like we did at the beginning. So, okay, and then the last couple notes, pointer finger on C on the first string, and you slide it up to D flat. So right there goes from, once again, chromatic from the 4 to the 5. 4, sharp 4, 5. And then ring finger right here goes to B flat. So, and also that part right there, right, in Nica's Dream, normally it goes A flat minor, D flat 7, G flat major, and then C altered, C7 altered, right? So technically he could be at the end, could be thinking like flat 9 and flat, or that whole thing, you could just be thinking like C altered as well, but I just included it over G flat, so, because it is a line that, you know, the remainder of the notes, even if he is thinking over C altered, it still does work over G flat major, so just so you could take the line and apply it to different 2-5-1s if you want. So, the entire thing...